Let me know if you guys can hear me. I have to remember to keep looking up there. Let me know if you guys can hear me. All right, I just checked if you guys. I have to remember to keep looking if the audio is working. All right, guys. So this is going to be a new segment that I'm going to have on my YouTube channel. Basically, either like every month or maybe every 1,000 subscribers or something like that. I don't know. We'll do kind of a Q&A video where you guys can ask me anything about myself or whatever it is, like Pokemon investing, Yu-Gi-Oh investing, whatever it is. So yeah, uh, let me know what you guys have to say, and I'm gonna be reading from this thing. Wait, let me see if I can place the camera in a way that's like a little bit better. Hmm. Derek Para, what's Omar? I think he's saying, "What's up, Omar? Swing by the office today." Oh, I know what you're talking about now. I am actually going, but I am waiting for the rain to stop because it's raining outside. So that should be good. Kamikaze TCG sounds good, by the way. All right, awesome. Try to make it as smooth as possible. So let's see. How can I center myself so that I don't look completely off? Yo, my rig is so bootleg right now. Like, all right. I think that should be good. All right. So first guy says, I have the 2002 black sleeve square logo Konami card sleeves sealed. That's pretty cool. These things are getting rare, and actually I found that the black ones are the rarest ones, in my opinion at least. Because I have a bunch of the silver and the greens, but I don't have any black ones. So it's definitely something to hold on to for the future. I have a lot of good rare cards, but they're kind of beat up and played. For example, I have an Ultimate Rare First Edition Effect Veiler, but it's probably worthless, right? Nah, man. Well, to a collector, it's probably worthless, but a lot of people still play that. So, I mean, definitely try to sell it while it's in the meta because, people are not going to want to collect damage cards, but they will want to collect things that are like in pretty good shape. Sorry, I'm zooming out. um, let's see. I saw your Insta. How was Calgary? Yo, Calgary was amazing, man. I loved it. Like it was. I really felt like I belonged. So, yeah, I definitely enjoyed it, and I'm actually looking to move there. Hopefully, so we'll see. We'll see where life takes me. Looking to sell. That's good. Well, hit him up if anybody's looking for those sleeves. Let me know if the sound is good right now because I'm using the Mac mic. So, yeah. And this is going to be a test. I posted on my IG that I'm going to go live at 3. I just I wasn't sure if it was going to work like last time, so I went on a little bit early to test it out. Is it worth buying PSA, BPT, Blue Eyes, Red Eyes, or DMG? Dark Magician Girl, obviously. I don't think there is a BPT Dark Magician Girl. If you're talking about Dark Magician, I think Dark Magician is the best one. PSA 10s are getting really pricey. At what point do you think it's just better to go a PSA 9 since I can get 4 9s for the same price, or just preference? I think you mean first edition, right? So, hmm, my image is a bit wide, as in stretched. How's it look right now then? Maybe I'm just fat, bro. Maybe I'm just a wide dude. Hmm. Let's see. I'm just trying to see if it looks wide. Oh, I see what you mean. Hmm. I have no idea why, to be honest. Really, no idea. It seems like I actually don't know. Thanks for pointing it out. I'll look into it for the next one. But I don't know why it's like that. Okay. Anyway, um, PSA 10 SDKs are getting really pricey. At what point do you think it's just better to get PSA 9s so I can get 4 9s for the same price? Okay, look, so with SDK, I actually like to go with PSA 10 or nothing because it's very similar to like the Blue Eyes case where the DDS case, which is basically you can get it automatically from the box. It's not something that you have to pull, so there's no scarcity factor other than having low supply of boxes. So I guess at what point is when you can get PSA 9s for cheaper than you can get the box, then I would say, yeah, I mean, I would start picking up 9s. Like the box right now is around 5 grand, 5.5 up to 6. So I would say if the PSA 9 falls, because the grading cost is going to be around like 500 bucks. So if the grading cost is around 500 bucks and then you add the card, I guess if you can buy a PSA 9 for under 4 grand, I would say it's worth it. I don't like the PSA 10 prices of SDK right now, to be honest, either. Um, I just think that it's not as scarce as some people would like to believe. So yeah, I think SDK is a little overpriced right now, to be honest with you. I also found my DDS Blue Eyes that I pulled when I was a kid. Is that long term hold or is it a good price to sell it at? I have no idea, man. I have no idea. Really, I don't have a crystal ball, man. I am holding my DDSs though. Is a PSA 10 with terrible centering like MFC DMG worth the same value as a PSA 10 that has perfect centering? No. So if you guys want an example, I traded less than perfect DMG for less than perfect DMG plus Pokemon product for centered DMG, and that product was valued around 2 grand. So I actually gave up like literally my PSA 10 DMG with another 2 grand on top in order to get a well-centered DMG. So I don't think so in my eyes, because I don't really care about the piece of plastic around the card. I care about the card itself. So yeah, that's my opinion on that. I don't think it's the same at all. Any dual monster sets you're trying to sell right now? I'm talking you're actively trying to sell them at current prices, not just selling them to the right if the right buyer comes along. No. If you're talking about sealed product, I I don't think I don't have anything to sell, because I don't really sell sealed product. I usually buy them and I just hold them. They're kind of my investment. So they're my investment vehicle, if that makes sense. And hold on, let me just see something real quick. I just want to see if this is a better angle. Go a little higher. My setup is so bootleg. Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, sealed, I don't really sell anything right now, to be honest. I don't have any plans to sell, because I have like millions of other things that I would sell before I would sell my sealed product. Because that's what I like base my whole collection off of, right? Sealed hoarding. So all right, I need I answered that. I own Blizzard Dragon GX Dual Almanac in English in excellent condition. How much do you think it would be worth? Probably around like $700, $700, maybe five if like it has a ding or something. I don't know what excellent means really, so yeah. Daniel R. Do you see prices returning back to earth this year, given the stimulus plus inflation-induced speculative bubble? I really don't know, man. I think we're if we really want to get into like kind of the economics of it all, uh, I mean, if you would like that, like just say yes and or give me a thumbs up, and I can get into the deeper economics of it. If not, yeah. If not, then I'll just say I don't think so. I don't think they will come down. Ben Hull, would you recommend grading with PSA or BGS? I would recommend PSA. Ahsan Khan. Daniel, that's counterintuitive to inflationary pressures. Prices would remain elevated if you think inflation is running rampant. Okay, so one brother, Andrew, said, yeah, he would like to go deeper into the economics aspect of it. Okay, so if you live under a rock, you notice that the past year we had a huge explosion in price of pretty much every asset class under the sun, right? So what we have right now is kind of something called stagflation, which is basically things are it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? So whether you like believe that the things will go up or not, it doesn't really matter, because now people saw what happened to their dollar in the past year, so they kind of so they kind of have they're trying to find any outlet, at least anybody who with any sound understanding of what happened in the past year. They're trying to funnel their money into things that might hold value. Okay, what happens with inflation is right now, because we hit the iceberg. Like what happened in the past year is we actually hit the iceberg. Like if you don't know what happened last year, um, we are on the Titanic. The Titanic is called the U.S. fiat currency system or the Canadian fiat currency system, and we are riding the Titanic, and we hit the we hit the iceberg last year. All right, now the ship is sinking, and while we wait for the ship to sink, some people are getting on life rafts, some people are running to the end of the ship, and some people are trying to get like their life jackets on. Okay, what these things are ways to secure your money as as the ship sinks. Okay, because there's no going back from this. Because if you don't know, once inflation, well, inflation has been happening for the past 100 years, but once it really gets racked up to the point that it was last year, what's going to happen is you can't come off of it. There's no way to patch this ever again, because uh, the amount of money that they printed last year is like the market is not going to forgive it. There's no way that the market will forgive it. So these life rafts are things like collectibles, crypto, stocks, whatever it is. You're just trying to grab onto something, and you know, uh, you're trying to grab onto something and basically hope that the thing that you grabbed onto will survive the Titanic sink. Okay. Now the Titanic might take 10 years, 20 years, or 5 years. To me, I kind of see 5 to 10 year gap, and just from things that I've read into, and things that kind of have been indicated to me. Okay. Uh, Now, number one, I have to say something. Obviously, I am not a financial advisor. I don't have any type of degrees or anything in this. It's just my own reading, my own studying of economics and the world around me. When if you look into things like Romania, all right, you have to look at things because Romania, if you don't know, in the 90s they hit hyperinflation. Okay, do I think that Romania's economy is even close to the United States? No, it's not. But they did go through a cycle of hyperinflation. And what happens during that time is, number one, you have to get your eggs and chickens in order. Okay, I don't know the expression, but basically you don't want to put the cart before the horse. You want to put the horse before the cart. If you want to invest your money, you first of all, you don't put any type of money into Yugioh crypto or anything else before you invest in what actually makes you live. All right, so this is gonna be just my perspective and what I did. For me, I have a storage of like food. I have all of these things prepared before I even deep dived into Yu-Gi-Oh, crypto, and whatever, because I don't know what's gonna come after the Titanic sinks. You know, the global elite, the international bankers, whatever you want to call them, those people, I'm sure they have a plan for what's to come, but who knows how the market will receive it. So because I don't know what's going to happen in the future, I can only go off of uh, trying to fill my basket with all types of eggs. So I do have crypto, I have stocks, I have gold, I have collectibles, I have tech, I have freaking locks. So I try to put whatever whatever thing I think of that might be of value later on. I try to hedge myself against inflation by buying some of every single thing. Okay, I am not trying to get rich off of my investments. See, for me, I know that I'm a productive human being. I am a productive human being. Because of this, it means that whatever it like I can get my revenue streams without having to constantly invest. All right, because uh, I have confidence in my abilities to produce something of value to the people in the future. Okay, a lot of people are asking locks. If you don't know, okay, whenever hyperinflation hits, okay, uh, the there's a lot of civil unrest that happens in the land, and because of this, things get broken into. And if you don't know, like if you read on like any type of Romanian biography, the most successful job over there at that time was literally a lockmaker. So somebody who can make locks that are unbreakable. That's somebody who basically is the one that's always working at the time. Like people are trying to buy stuff from him because they don't want their shit broken into. So that's usually what happens during that time once the Titanic sinks. All right. So yeah, it's crazy, but I didn't even think about it until like somebody pointed it out to me. All right. So locksmiths and those people those people are you know those guys are really successful. So anyway, because of this, I don't need my investments to become I don't need them to triple or quadruple or anything like that. I do expect some return, and I do expect some returns to be better than others. But for the most part, I try to just fill up my basket with different things, and this is kind of like my set it and forget it plan. All right. Now that we have that under control, in terms of what happens to Yu-Gi-Oh, if inflation goes into hyperinflation, Yu-Gi-Oh is not gonna matter. Everything's gonna go down with that, because at the end of the day, it's gonna be firewood. Okay, like that's truly what it is. It's not gonna be anything more than that. Yu-Gi-Oh is going to be firewood. If we go into, because there's three stages, right? Like if you think after the Titanic sinks, we are gonna be like fucking hunting gazelles in the middle of downtown New York and downtown Toronto, then that's when you start buying gold. Okay, if you think that we are going to go in a place where the internet is still working and everything is still kind of still uh, moving forward, it's just people are not spending anything anymore. Okay, they're more like just buying food and stuff like that. In my opinion, crypto is going to be the one that you know st- is the lifeboat that you want, if that makes sense. Like if gold is a lifeboat, um, crypto is a lifeboat, and uh, fucking Yu-Gi-Oh is a lifeboat, then what's it called? Crypto is the one that you want to go with if that's what you think the future will be like, all right? I don't know the future, and that's why I have every single one. I don't just go, I don't think everything will be fine, so I just leave out crypto, I leave out gold. But I also don't think that we are going to be hunting gazelles in the middle of New York. So I that's why I buy that's why I also buy Yu-Gi-Oh as well. So I just try to diversify as much as possible because I don't know the future and nobody really does. All right. So now, if the world is going to be okay for the next 10, 20 years, in your opinion, then Yu-Gi-Oh is a fine investment because people are going to be what's it called? People are going to be fine. They're still going to be collecting their hobbies. I'm going to be buying. I'm going to be selling. So, if for the next 10, 20 years, if you think everything will be okay, then that's what you should buy into. And I don't think it's a bad I don't think Yu-Gi-Oh is a bad investment at all. It has the scarcity factor. Like the only thing that can possibly happen is Konami sees the ship sinking and they're like, all right, let me just print out first editions again. Let me print out prize cards again. Let me leak, a bunch of these things. So that's where you're under kind of Konami's mercy per se. But other than that, I think Yu-Gi-Oh is a fine investment in the future. It has really, really good. In my opinion, at least, it has really strong foundation in terms of collectability compared to, like, for example, Pokemon, which is existent left and right. It's just it has a Pokemon has such a huge fan base that um, that's what drives it. It's not really the rarity or the scarcity aspect. Yu-Gi-Oh actually has both, and that's why I like Yu-Gi-Oh more than Pokemon. But I also like Yu-Gi-Oh the game because I played Yu-Gi-Oh the game more, so it might be my own bias that's doing this. So that's my opinions on Yu-Gi-Oh as a future investment. I think it's okay as long as you think that the world will be totally okay after what happened in 2020 in terms of economic damage that is irreparable. All right. When did you start investing in things? Yu-Gi-Oh! I started in 2016, and it was not out of investment. Like now, it's an investment because my portfolio really grew, but I was buying things back then for because I really like the cards. Yeah, that's when I started with that. In terms of like other things like gold and crypto, I started buying crypto in 2017. I actually started learning about crypto in 2017 after that big boom, and I kind of bought back then, and I've been holding on to it. I haven't really traded anything. I haven't sold a single Bitcoin, like not a single one. I have like a good bit, and no pun intended, but I haven't sold a single one. I haven't sold a single Ethereum, nothing, cause yeah, I don't use it as an trading vehicle. I don't trade crypto. I'm not interested in trading anything other than trading cards. um so yeah, and then gold I've been buying since 2016, 2015. So yeah, I have a good bit of each, and food I've been buying since like 2016. So yeah. Which of the newer grading companies do you think has a shot to match PSA BGS values? None. I don't think any of them will be able to. I don't think any of them will be able to compete with PSA, and the reason is because most people who built money from the hobby, their collection is PSA. Like for me, again, this is my own bias, and you can take that however way you will. But for me, uh, sorry, shit. I read a comment and I read a comment and I completely lost my train of thought. The reason I have PSA is because I started with PSA. All right. So because of this, I started with PSA. So because of this, I have no incentive to switch to another company. You understand? Like my whole collection is built off of freaking PSA. So unless some new company has the ability to completely change the market and will honor my PSA 10s as BGS 9.5s or guaranteed. Um, yeah, yeah, I don't think PSA. Shit, man, I have to stop reading the comments, man. I keep losing my train of thought. So I'm gonna keep looking at the camera. I don't have I don't have any interest in investing in any other company because my whole collection is built off of PSA, and that's what I'm gonna go with. However, I do always make sure that I am buying true tens because let's just say shit hits a fan. I don't want to be, stuck with my pants down because I'm buying basically the PSA slab and who cares about the card. At the end of the day, I do want my cards if things you know, if shit does hit the fan, I do want my cards to retain the value of condition. So what would happen then is I would either crack my PSA cases and I would give them to another company to grade again, and hopefully I'll be able to get the same grades or at least the same value. So yeah. Um, do you want your PSA case to have extra space for the card to move in, or tightly hug the card, or it doesn't matter, it won't get damaged either way. I like the way BGS builds their cases on the internal. I don't fear that the card will be damaged. I don't like the way that PSA does it. That's just the honest truth. Um, with BGS, you can shake the thing and nothing will happen to it. I I really like it. I really like the way that I don't I really don't like the PSA cases, man. I just had some bad experiences. I had a Blue Eyes LOB first edition complete PSA 10 get completely wrecked by getting stuck in the case of a PSA case, and that kind of gave me a PTSD. However, the market has chosen and I have chosen, so now I'm just kind of sticking it out. And to me, like, most of my investments are in sealed anyway, so like my PSA portfolio is very small in my opinion compared to the rest of my portfolio. Um, let's see. I'm just trying to go in order. When did you first start willing to spend? What does willing to spend mean? Yugioh protects against inflation with a thought. I think you're covered then. Yeah. Willing to spend. I don't know what that means. Did you hear that Binance is leaving Ontario because of forced KYC? Are you serious? I didn't know that they were forcing KYC. I actually use Binance myself, but I always like send it right to my hard wallet. I don't use my soft wallet, so uh yeah. Do you have more investments compared to money in the bank? I have $0 in the bank. I don't put my money in the bank. I don't like using the bank. I don't take a mortgage with the bank. Uh, I have sworn against using the bank for my any type of transaction other than getting my money out of PayPal and into my hands. They said all positions have to be closed by December. Interesting. Shit. Okay, then I gotta get I gotta get what I have out of there. Would it be smart if Konami started a grading scheme? I don't think so. I think there'd be too much conflict of interest. It's very similar to kind of like, you know how like Wada is doing their own kind of storage place. It's imagine if eBay started grading, okay, or PWCC started grading. Right? It just there'd be too much conflict of interest in my opinion. I don't think it would be wise. I think the less centralization there is, take this as a grain of salt from somebody who has read all types of economic work. The less centralization you have of anything, the better it is. Uh, I just pulled the Dama Starlight Starter Strike, and do you believe it would be worth submission at 150? It depends on the centering, man. If it's centered well and there's no issues, uh, yeah, I would definitely sub it. I think it's a beautiful card, to be honest. Congrats on the pull though. Like that's huge, man. Ruxin opened what, like 100 boxes and he didn't pull. So congrats on that. Why do you think the gap between tens and nines are further increasing? And what do you speculate will happen in the future? The reason is because the people who buy the tens, at least the high end tens, have money to hold. You understand? They're not buying things because they're not buying stuff PSA 10s because they're trying to flip. All right. The people who are flipping are buying nines. Okay, they're the ones that you see them post their story, and then all of a sudden they go and sell it like a month later. Uh, you understand what I'm saying? So those are the people that get burned in the long term. The people who understand investing, those people they don't sell, right? So because of this, they're buying PSA 10s and they're just holding them, and there's less supply on the market. That's number one. Number two, PSA 10s are harder to get, so again that affects the supply on the market. And but in my opinion, I think the biggest reason is because the people who buy 10s are people who are looking to hold long term, and thus the supply doesn't change. Like for me, If I see a Jinzo, if I see Jinzo up for sale on eBay, I don't post mine. You understand? So because of this, uh, yeah, I don't post mine. There's no reason to post mine. I like to post mine once it's the only one on the market. So yeah, that's how I work in terms of investing. For me, if I see a single copy of what I'm selling on there, um, my mine doesn't go up. Okay, that's for my tens at least. Okay, for my nines, that's completely different. I usually rotate these nines because again, I started with nines. I didn't start with tens. I didn't start buying tens. I started with nines, and I was flipping myself. I was flipping nines. I was grading nines, selling them, and that's how I started at least. And I was able to just buy tens and hold them. Like I told you guys, I bought my first collection piece. It was a DDS Blue Eyes PSA 10. I bought it for like $650, $700, something like that, and I still have it here. You understand? So it's not like it's what's it called? Yeah, I still have a lot of my stuff because I have not seen a time where there was no DDSs on the market. All right, let's see. They said, yeah, they said all positions have to. Yeah, I already answered that. Sorry. Why do you think the gap between? I already answered that. Oh, that's crazy. How often do you buy Yu-Gi-Oh stuff nowadays, sealed on raw cards? Well, now my position is quite high, so my position is quite high, so I don't really buy anything unless it's like something I really need, like it's something extremely rare. Like if a Necro Face PSA 10 popped up, I would buy that. Stuff that's like pop 5, under pop 10. Okay, that's what I think in my opinion. All right, things that are under pop 10, that's the stuff that I buy right now because I already have like pretty much my whole collection complete. I don't really need much. Maybe Phantom Darkness box. Uh, yeah, like I really can't think of anything that I need in my collection anymore because I have pretty much everything. Uh, in terms of raw cards I buy a lot because I love my raw cards, and especially if I can find a mint one, I love to buy it and just slap in my binder. Yeah, I love raw cards. I buy raw cards all the time. Dude, I pulled my starters from a single booster box, from 5 packs from a single booster box at a local toy store. Wow, that's insane, bro. Like a huge congrats to you, man. Like honestly, super congrats. What's your opinion on First Ed SDY SDK Dark Magician Blue Eyes PSA 10? I really like the hold. I would hold them long term. I wish I had those too, but to me, I just think that they're a little overpriced right now. So if they come down a little bit, like if SDK goes below 10K, I'll probably buy one, and if SDY goes below 5K, I'll probably buy one. Yeah. Any tips on building wealth? Uh, cut down your spending. That's how you build wealth. You understand? Like there's offense and then there's defense. Okay, your offense is what you're buying and what you're investing in, but your defense is how much you're spending in order to live. So if you can bring that down as much as possible, like I told you guys, you see my stuff, you think I'm rich, but I'm not. I live in literally one one bedroom apartment. Okay, uh, I am planning to buy a home, but that's after like 5 years worth of basically living on ramen noodles. You understand? So yeah, I don't have I don't have a lot of expenses. Uh, bro, I don't even use like YouTube Premium. Like I don't have any of this stuff. I don't have Spotify. I don't have Netflix. My expenses are basically zero. Whatever I have is basically what I eat. I don't have like an expensive car. I have like a 2009 Mitsubishi because if I raise these, I will not be able to build my wealth as much as I can right now. You understand? Like if I have to worry about some fucking bill every time it, it's just it's just a headache, man. Like it's actually a headache, and I don't like to put myself in a position where I have to sell. Okay, I'm never the motivated seller. That's You will never see that from me. Like I get so many emails that message me and they're like, "Hey man, I'm trying to buy this for a good price." I'm like, "I'm sorry, I'm not the guy that you should be talking to because I don't sell for a good price because I'm not a motivated seller. I only sell well, this is what when we're talking about the investment, like the boxes, the high-end cards. When we're talking about stuff that readily is supplied to the market, I just sell for like literally market below five, like -5%, 10%. So I always try to have the best price possible. But when it comes to like the rare shit, that stuff, I am never a motivated seller for that. So that's how you build wealth, in my opinion. I think it's a defensive game. It's not an offensive game. I don't trade anything. I don't do stocks. I don't do anything with the bank. You understand? So you have to understand I don't do any of this. Everything I do is on the defensive end because I am very disciplined in my investing, and you guys will see that on my Patreon. Like for the people who are on my Patreon, you guys will know I always preach about being very disciplined with how you spend because that's what really affects your true wealth, in my opinion. Why do you think Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh struggle with creating a new generation of monsters that are just as impactful as the first generation? Well, the reason, in my opinion, is because there's so much other things to do now. Back then, you didn't really have anything other than the Game Boy. You understand? Other than action figures, I mean, I really don't know what else did we play with other than the Game Boy. So the centralization of our attention was based on this, and whether Yu-Gi-Oh the original season was crap or not, people are still forced to watch it, right? So yeah, that's number one. Number two, it is again as I'm gonna always bring it back to inflation. As inflation goes rampant, companies are able to put less and less quality into their products. You understand? This is why IKEA is flourishing right now because IKEA makes trash products, but people are forced to buy it because they cannot buy the real craftsmanship. You can't buy something from a real carpenter. You understand? So this is the reason. It's because of inflation, right? Nobody really wants to. I don't really want to own IKEA tables, but that's the only thing I can afford because I cannot pay 15,000 for a freaking closet that's built by a carpenter because the like you think carpenters charge a crazy amount. It's not. It's literally the materials. The materials are what cost so much now, and that's an inflation aspect. So it's the same thing with cards, right? Like the company cannot put the same R&D into the cards that they could before because they need to push out more product in order to make their returns and pay their employees and stuff like that. So uh yeah, I mean, Konami, I'm sure when they first started in 1999, I'm sure that they spent at least 3, 4, 5, 6 months uh, ahead of like any type of planning, ahead of like anything that comes out in 2021, where they spend a lot of times, where they spend basically nothing on card design. Now it's just like power creep, power creep, power creep, power creep, right? So that's in my opinion at least. I just don't think that they spend enough time. They can't afford to spend enough time. Uh, yeah. Are you Omar from the old statue channels? Yeah, that's me, man. How's it going? I appreciate you still being subscribed to me, man. That's craziness. You can still see my uh King Arts shield right here. Do you hold items to sell? If so, how long is your average hold? My average hold is around 2 to 3 years. That's what I hold. In terms of cards to hold, there's different sections, right? There's cards that you flip, there's cards that you hold. The higher end is the stuff that you hold because that's the stuff that the market is holding in general, right? You don't see Jinzos being flipped, PSA 10s. You don't see DDS Blue Eyes being flipped all the time. You see only like PSA 7s, PSA 8s being flipped all the time. Do you think Card Fight Vanguard have potential? I have no idea. I don't want to speak on something I have no idea about, honestly. I've never followed it, never looked at it. I have no idea. You said you avoid using the bank. Do you believe in interest? I believe I don't do interest. Like I do, for example, like I do payment plans with plenty of people on here. Like a lot of people want to buy some of the high-end stuff and they can't afford it, so they do payment plans with me over like a few months. I don't ask interest because I don't believe in it myself. Okay, but I don't think it's wrong. I think it's wrong if the bank does it because the bank does not have the right to charge interest on money that they don't own, that they just print out of thin air. Imagine if I can, for example, uh, print as many of these gold star Charizards as I want, and I give them to people, and they have to charge. I could charge interest on that. You understand? Like I didn't work for this Charizard, so it's complete for the bank. This is why I don't support the bank because they are they charge interest on money that they don't actually have themselves, right? Like if I think about it like this, if I worked my ass off for $100 and I don't want to let it go to waste. Okay, what I can do is I can give it to somebody who will utilize it in his business, and he will pay me interest on that. There's nothing wrong with that because I sacrificed my opportunity. Let's just say this is $100. I sacrificed this opportunity cost that I have, right? Because I could have used this $100 myself, but I gave it to somebody else. They will make 20% of their on their business, like profit, and they will kick me back 4, 5, 10, whatever it is that we agree upon. Okay. So this is, in my opinion, a fine practice. What I don't like is I print this out of thin air. I don't work for it. I have no opportunity cost loss because as soon as I give this to somebody, I can print out another one, right? Then I charge interest on that, and that's what I'm against. I'm 100% against the bank, and I think that they are immoral business people, and I quit my job after I learned how they work. So yeah, I don't want to get into that, but I will die by my sword, and that's just how I live. How do you go about finding collectors to sell to? Well, number one, you have to build a good following. I would say I built a pretty strong following and pretty resilient following because you guys know, like, I'm very vocal with my opinions. I don't I don't I don't like cool it down on any of my opinions. So the fact that I have not been canceled shows that my following is either very resilient on what I post, or they are advocates of what I post. So either or, who knows. So that's number one. You have to build a very strong following that you can advertise to and market to. Number two, you have to make sure you build the right connections. So for me, like me and Sam, Team Samurai, we have a symbiotic relationship. I'm able to supply him product for cheap. I'm able to supply him knowledge for cheap, and he's able to, return it by giving me some of his audience that is willing to listen to me. So it's very symbiotic in that way, and I trade something that I have for something that he has, and that's how I kind of built my network, at least in the Yu-Gi-Oh world, at least. Okay. How do you feel about the double vaccine thingy going on in Ontario? You guys know how I feel. Come on. You guys know what I think. Do you collect any foreign cards, EU languages? No, I don't collect any foreign like languages. I do collect some rare releases of like the EN. So for example, video game promos. I do have some of the ones that were released in Europe that have completely different cards, but they're still English. I don't like things that I can't read other than Japanese because that's the original of where the card game was built. So I respect Japanese language enough to be able to collect it. Unfortunately, I don't respect the others enough to get over the hump of me not being able to read them, if that makes sense. Would you like to live abroad? Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get to the States, man, but I don't think I don't think I'm gonna be able to get out of here, to be honest. Your opinion on TP2 super rares PSA 10? I think they're extremely undervalued, in my opinion. Understood. Thanks for answering my questions. Absolutely, man. Thanks for coming on and joining us here. You're gonna get that OCG Blue Eyes briefcase thing. I would like to, but I'm not paying no $1,000 or $1,200 pre-order. I mean, that's just ridiculous. It's retailing for $330. I'm not paying freaking $200 before release, 200% before release. Gold one crush card virus is really undervalued. I have no idea. I have no idea about that because I was not actually around at that time. People say that it's short printed. I have no confirmation about that, but it seems like it is. But again, I have really no idea. How do you go about keeping track of your inventory and prices you paid? Excel, yeah, I have a Excel sheet that has all of my assets and yeah, so just in case like something happens to me, I die or something, then somebody else can take over and help my family liquidate or whatever it is, invest in Yu-Gi-Oh or I'm teasing. uh oh, hi Omar, how are you? Why did you deactivate DMs on IG? Where can we write to you for buy? So you can email me, strictly sealed incorporated, so INC, strictly sealed inc at gmail.com. You can email me there any type of thing that you would like to purchase or sell. I deactivated DMs because I was just getting too many messages, and I actually had I'm outsourcing my IG now, so somebody else is taking care of it. So that number one, I can tone down the opinionated posts that I have. And number two, what's it called? Just so that I spend a lot more time on my craft and I spend freaking on IG. So yeah, now and also because when you're emailing, okay, you filter out a lot of the crap that people want to talk about. You know what I mean? Like people, they somebody who's serious, they'll write an email. Okay, that's that. Let me just tell you that. Okay, a text is very easy. Going to your email app and creating an email is very daunting. And for people who are lazy and they don't want to work, they hate email, right? So this is kind of my way of filtering them out, and you know, yeah. That's my. I said enough about that. When somebody's serious, they'll find a way to find you. Have you bought any Metazoo items? Absolutely not. I have not. I will not buy any Metazoo items. Absolutely not. Got that retro baboon for you, my dude. Hit me up whenever. Oh yeah, what's going on, man? Yeah, for sure. I'll definitely hit you up. Do you think prices for GBI God Card Secrets are going to drop? Pop for tens is growing super fast, bro. It's been growing too super fast. I think it's like the highest population card in all of Duel Monsters at PSA, other than maybe Shonen Jump Dark Magician Girl. However, the following is super strong, and I really like them. I mean, uh, yeah, I like them. I have a set, but that's all I really have. I don't really I didn't build a position in them because I don't know how many there are, man. Like Japanese stuff, there's just so much of it, to be honest, especially for set stuff. This is why Japanese people, um, uh, that's why Japanese people they have a huge problem with set collectors. Like they hate them. You understand? Because they're like these things are not rare, but that's because they don't know how rare these cards are in the TCG. TCG is a lot rarer than freaking OCG. Okay, like pulling a card is a lot harder to get than the OCG counterpart. So because of this, set the Japanese collectors or the rare hunters per se, they don't like that Japanese people that in North American people collect the set cards because they have no respect for the rarity. So yeah, they think any set card is just a set card when it's not. Like their short printed cards are extremely tough to get. Um, so yeah, GBI falls in that Japanese stock card, that Japanese kind of release, and because of this, there's so many out there. But I think they're in my opinion, the GBI secret rares are the only god cards that are collectible, in my opinion, at least. Yeah, thoughts on Metazoo? Metazoo, in my opinion, I think I think it's a big pump and dump. That's just my opinion. I don't like the artwork. I don't like the owner. I don't have a problem with the owner. I just don't like the way he comes off, like petting his dog all the time. It's very Doctor Evil and Mister Bigglesworth kind of vibes, if that makes sense. So I don't know. I don't like the packaging either. Like the packaging on there it looks like fake stuff. Does that make sense? Like it literally looks like it's fake product. If you look at fake Yu-Gi-Oh packs, they look the same as Metazoo, like the way that they're packaged. I don't like that. So because of that, I don't I don't do Metazoo, to be honest. So yeah. Do you go to random stores in the middle of nowhere to see if they have hidden gems of Yu-Gi-Oh inventory? If so, how do you find them? Um, shit, sorry. I was reading comments again. Do you go to random stores? I go when I see them. I don't really search them out, if that makes sense. I most of my, you know, uh, digging online. I don't really do it in person, to be honest. Also, what would you pay for a first ed Labyrinth of Nightmare hobby box? I would, what I would pay, I would not buy right now because I have enough position. But I would say a fair price is around 4K. I think that's a fair price. First shout out from Germany. You are a big inspiration. Thanks, man. I appreciate it, man. Could you create a scent that smells of old Yu-Gi-Oh cards, bro? I have them here. Smells regular to me. I don't know the smell, bro. um, how do you feel about MNT grading? Any opinion? I don't like it. I not that I don't like it. I think they're fine. I think they're a great company, and I good job like to you. But if the boom wasn't happening, those companies would not exist. So because of this, in my opinion, I don't think that they will survive in the long run. They're good to enslab your cards or like to protect your card. If you have like a minty card, I would not send any prize cards. I would not send any high end stuff because that company is, in my opinion, if I was to use them, it would be more like for a nostalgic card that I have and I just want to get it slabbed. Like that's how I think about them, in my opinion, at least. Because money's not gonna go in there. I bet you nobody's looking up like Yu-Gi-Oh MNT, if that makes sense. So that's just my opinion though. I do respect a lot of the people that do collect it because those people are not trying to get into money, they're trying to just to slab up their cards. But to me, I collect raw cards. I'm a raw collector. I don't care about slabs. My slabs are literally investment vehicle only. I'm a through and through what's it called, like a raw card collector. Like one day I will do a video on all my binders. Like I swear, I promise. I'll try my best to get that done. My question is, why do you don't separate your business with political ideology? I think you're a very smart dude, and I think you know that you could make more money if you don't talk about politics. Well, to be honest with you, I only started talking about politics in the past year or so because I knew what was coming. You understand? So to me, when it doesn't matter how much money you make, if like okay, let me ask you this, guys. Why do people want money? Okay? Um why do people want money? Like why is it that people seek out money? All right? If you want a broad term, it's because it gives them opportunities, right? It gives them the ability to do things that they can't do without money, right? It gives them choices. Well, it doesn't matter how much money I have if all my choices are being taken away from me, then what good is money? Hopefully that makes sense. So it is not it is not like that's what yeah, like to me, if my choices are being taken away from me, money is not going to change these things. You understand? So that's why I use my it's not that I use my like my platform. How can I put this? Yeah, I mean, my platform is not. It doesn't help me get. It doesn't give me choices. All I want in my life is my choices. You understand? That's my choices mean everything to me. If that's being taken away from me, then I don't really need my money. To be honest, you can have my money. Um, let's see. Hopefully that answers your question. If you have anything else, just comment it. Mark Lad, not the first. I don't know what that means. Oh, not the first. Oh, I understand. Do you think Konami has failed in increasing interest in the hobby? Do their current decisions impact the way you invest? Yeah, I don't buy modern product. I never yeah, I don't think that they are a good. One second, sorry. I'm trying to find the USB. I might have to cut this short, guys. Let's see how much time I have. I have 22%, so let me shut off this and shut off this. Just to try to get as much battery as possible. Okay. I'm gonna try my best to stay on until my computer dies, alright? So number one, Konami lost the ability to make a good card game, in my opinion, after Teledad. Teledad really like had no business being in the game. I think it broke the game, and yeah, that's just my opinion. I don't like the new stuff that they're doing, so I don't buy anything new. I don't support their scheme, which is basically like make a shitty set and then throw one card in and make everybody buy the product for that one card. I don't like that. I think that's inorganic interest. You're leeching off of the collector and you're not giving the player his dues, the person who supported you, because the player is the one who really supports Konami. It's not really the collector. The collector is great, but you didn't start off collecting. You started off playing the game. So in my opinion, if Konami is disrespecting the player, I don't think that they are great to give my money to, and that's why I haven't bought new product. I don't buy new product ever. Like everything I buy is secondhand. Like even when I buy a case or certain product to open myself, I'm buying it secondhand because I don't want to give Konami my money. It's like for me, my money is my options, and because of this I use my money to support what I want and not support what I don't want. And I do feel like Konami has to get its act together, and it hasn't done that, and because of this I'm not buying. So maybe once they release a good set, then I will maybe support it. All right, next. What's the story behind the Captain America shield? Yeah, the Captain America shield represents uh, freedom. So that's what I'm about, and that's what I call. That's why I have it. It actually comes off the wall like it's a real metal shield. You want me to take it off? Let me take it off. Take a look at this. Look at this. Real metal shield, man. Look at the inside. America. Taking how badass this is. This is like, you can literally kill somebody with this thing, man. It's so amazing. All right. Is it worth it to purchase a box of Toon Chaos for future investment? Otherwise, I will just collect it because I like the artwork, even if it won't rise in value. Hey, that's what matters, man. If you're buying something to collect, that's what's in my opinion, that's how I started. Like, I just bought what I liked. So if you like the artwork, it makes it easier for you to hold. It makes you a less motivated seller, and thus it makes you be able to build wealth better, in my opinion, and that's how I go about it. The more money you have, the less you can spend it. Yeah. Where can I follow you? Are you only on Patreon besides YouTube and IG? Yeah, that's mostly what I do. I am thinking of doing kind of a philosophical channel where I just like talk about philosophical issues, but I don't know how people would receive that, and I don't know what people, because you guys know me, right? So, uh, yeah. But anyway, yeah, that, I might be doing something like that. I don't know yet. Where, uh, if not one of the big trio, what's your favorite card? My favorite card, other than the big three. So by big three, you mean Dark Magician, Red Eyes, and Blue Eyes? Because I don't really like Dark Magician. I like hmm, what card do I like? I really what's that card? I guess Summon Skull. I like Summon Skull. In terms of newer cards, I really like the Duloran, Duloran, Tiger of the Ice Barrier. I really love that artwork, man. I would love to have that in PSA 10. Dulorian, I think. I don't remember what it's called. It's a tiger. It looks really majestic. It's standing on top of an iceberg. Really sick. For new releases, what makes a card worth grading to you? It has to be expensive and raw. It has to be expensive and raw and not playable. That's when I grade it. So Stardust Dragon, that's why I recommended to the brother that he grade it, because it's not playable, obviously, and it's hard to pull. It's expensive, so yeah. Will I have better chances at getting a girlfriend if I own a first edition LLB Blue Eyes? I mean, depends on the type of girl, bro. Depends on the type of girl. Do you think the hero archetype is a waste of potential? I really like the hero archetype, and bro, I'm telling you, there is a huge following for the heroes, man. Like, it is insane how much people like them. Like, for example, you know Team Sam, right? Team Sam came over, and bro, his eyes lit up so much when he saw the Elemental Hero collection I have, like, in my room. His eyes lit up. I never seen anybody light up like that. Like, I've seen that with Blue Eyes White Dragon, but I haven't really seen it with, the other generations. So when he saw that Elemental Hero collection, bro, like, his eyes lit up, and I was like, "Yo, there's a real following for this, man. People really like this, like this archetype." So in terms of playability, I don't know how it's doing because I don't know the game, but in terms of collectability, I don't think so. I think they could make way more spin-offs, etc. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe like with the blue eyes, you mean Dark Magician? I have no idea. That's dual. Thanks, bud. What? Hey, Milano, what's up? What's going on, buddy? What is a new cool purchase you made lately? A cool new purchase I made lately. What did I buy recently? I bought. I'm trying to think of what I bought. Oh, I bought my new camera. My camera is amazing. I love my camera. Damn cool shield. Thanks, bro. Thanks for answering my questions. I always learn something from you. Appreciate it, brother. Thanks for tuning in. What tips do you have for someone who wants to get into collecting vintage Yu-Gi-Oh cards with these days prices? Um, I would buy 5Ds boxes. If you're on a budget, I would buy 5Ds boxes. I think that's the best way to go about it, and then wait until they increase in value, sell them, and buy vintage cards. But in terms of buying like vintage boxes, right? I still think vintage boxes are cheap. To be honest with you guys, I still think so. But right now the market is kind of slowing down, so because of that, I think yeah, I I think in my opinion, I think boxes are still cheap. That's why I haven't really sold anything. So yeah. Hey, thanks for selling me that TP8 Duster, man. Hey, congrats, man. Enjoy that card. That card was clean. I pulled it right out of the pack, man. So congrats. I personally think you underestimate yourself too much. I don't think so. I think I appropriately rate myself. Hey, bro, do the philosophy. You have a lot of great knowledge to share. I appreciate it, my man. Thank you very much. Means a lot coming from you, man. Speaking about cards, what is in your opinion a fair price for PSA 9 first edition Jinzo? I'm searching for one, but I see different prices. $1,000 to $1,500 in my opinion is fair price. From what I heard from you alone in this stream, you should definitely start a philosophy channel. I'm thinking about it, man. I don't know how I would go about it though. Maybe just do lives, because lives is when, because people really when I make text posts, people don't really get what I'm saying. You understand? Like for me, I have deep knowledge of a lot of things, and it's because I'm studied, right? But um, what's it called? I think I have to do lives because people really respect when it comes right from the hip. Like if that makes sense. Like when I'm talking organically to you guys, people really like that. So I might just do lives and people can tune in and like ask questions or like my opinion on certain things or why I think certain things, if that makes sense. So I might just do that. Let me know what you guys think about that idea. Are all blue eyes worth investing in? Would you buy a raw speed dual tournament pack one blue eyes and grade it? No, I would not. Anything Demon Slayer related that you've been collecting? New season starts soon. No, I don't really collect it. I am trying to find the art book though for it because I love UFO table. I love the way that they put in work into their stuff. Like I said in my art book video, like I really respect people who show a lot of creativity in their work because like I am a creative person, but for me it's hard to show physically in a physical form because for me I'm more thinking the I'm more of a thinking type of dude. I'm not really as much hands on. Like I can't draw or whatever, but you could see it in my videos. Like I put a lot of work into my videos because I would like that standard to be set by for human beings. Like I would like human beings to always put in 100% into their work. And if I'm not doing that, how can I expect other people to do that? So UFO table who makes Demon Slayer, they put in 100% into everything. So for me, when I see that, I have to reward it, and I always buy all of their art books because I want to give them my money so that they know that they're getting monetarily rewarded for their hard work, in my opinion at least. Other than TCGs, what's your vice? What's vice? As in like, what's my vice? As in like stuff that I like. I really like philosophy. For me, I like thinking about things. I like trying to understand how the world around me works, and that's kind of my thing. Like I always like to read. I like to investigate. I like to dig into rabbit holes that I should not be digging in, and yeah, that's kind of my thing. As well as I used to be into like anime and film and stuff like that, but I've kind of slowed down. I haven't really had the time to do a lot of film and stuff like that. So let's see, Magician's Force or Meta Raiders. Um, I like Magician's Force. I've been doing all the 5D singles, LMAO. That stuff is all my favorite. Been picking all of the tin stuff and alties. Yeah, dude. I'm telling you, man. There's a huge following for Yu-Gi-Oh for 5Ds. Like people really underestimate. But they're still kids though. They're still like in the 19 to 22s, so they don't really have a lot of income. But once they start getting that 30, 35, they're gonna start going after those ghosters, right? Because they're gonna have an extra 5K, 10 extra 10K. Like if they do well in life, they're gonna have that extra income, and they're gonna be like, yo, I want a ghoster. I want a PSA 10 ghoster, right? So they're gonna pick that up. So uh, don't sleep on 5Ds and GX. I think they're very slept on. I would tune into that channel 100%. I appreciate it, Kamikaze. It means a lot, man. Thank you very much. Will you start selling your rare sealed product in approximately 10 years? Maybe, man. Like, it depends, man. I only sell when I have something else to buy. So, if I want to buy more crypto, I would just sell some stuff for crypto. I never sell for cash. I don't like cash because, okay, I have a war against the bank and I am going to die in this war, okay? And before I die, I would like to rob them of as much wealth as possible. So if I don't use their money, I am robbing them of potential wealth that they might have. And this is why I don't try to sell for cash unless it is to buy something else right away with it. You understand? I never hold cash. I'm not interested in holding cash. I think a live format for the philosophy will help keep things flowing as well. That would really help things. Yeah, I think it would just be a lot more organic, and I'm definitely down to have people on as well so that we can like discuss different things and debate and stuff like that. Because people sleep on thinking. You understand? Like every time I go live, okay? Every time I go live, people are always like, wow, that was very revelatory. Like the stuff that you're saying was something that is very refreshing. You understand? So it's not that people don't want to listen, they just don't want to be, they don't want to dig around for it. Okay, like I had to dig around. Like I spent the last 5 years digging into the biggest rabbit holes in order to ascertain as much information as possible, right? So now I have a collection of knowledge in my mind, and because I'm able to bring it through the Yu-Gi-Oh platform, people tune in, and they're suddenly more interested in listening because it's coming to them a lot easier, right? So yeah, that's why like people always really. That's why my lives on IG, for example, they go for hours because people are interested in what I have to say, because what I'm bringing is what's it called? What I'm bringing is very refreshing takes on certain topics and perspectives that they haven't seen before, because frankly they're either too busy or too entertained or sedated by the world that we live in today, that they haven't had the time to kind of dig and lift up this rock, see if this is fact or if it's just fake or whatever it is. You understand? So that's my opinion, at least. Like in my bias, after I've done whatever I've done. um I have 10% left on my laptop. Yeah, these lives are A1. I appreciate it, random Yu-Gi-Oh dude. It means a lot. Thoughts on Ghost Share Raw for future investment? I don't really like it. Let's go, made it. Hey, appreciate it, my man. Takeshi. Check out his channel. This guy is putting out great content, and dude, you could tell there's quality in his videos. Thoughts on the movie The Big Short? I've never watched it, but I know it's about that guy who called the 2008 stock market crash or whatever. I've never seen it though, but so I can't really give you my thoughts, but uh, I don't want to get into like the esoteric knowledge of the 2008 crash on this channel. So maybe I might do it like on another one, on the second channel if I ever do decide to open that. Like, com after this, like after this goes live, just comment in the comments. Just say you'd like to see this, just so I can get like a tally if there's enough interest in it. You understand? So yeah. When you were younger, did you see yourself where you are today? Um, no. When I was younger, I was very misfit, if that makes sense. I didn't really get along with people because uh, I'll just say it. So, for me, I grew up very traditional home, okay, and because of this, my parents, they showed interest in the things that they cared about, and they didn't show interest in the things that I cared about. So what happened because of this is, for me, I started seeking a lot of outer attention instead of looking on the inside. So I never thought that I would be able to become what I or get what I or achieve what I've achieved today, because I was always living comparatively. I always lived you know, what is this guy doing? What is that guy doing? What is like, how could I do what they're doing, or how could I beat them at what they're doing? And I had to really rewire myself about that, and truly start looking on the inside of myself instead of, waiting for other people's approval. Because let me tell you something, guys. Nobody gives a shit about you. Nobody owes you anything. Nobody, like, everything that you gain in this life is done because you believe in yourself, and you reward yourself for the achievements that you've done, or you were able to accomplish in life. So yeah, like, I'm telling you this as somebody who kind of had to learn this the hard way. If there's any young cats on my channel and stuff like that that are growing up right now, I'm telling you, man, like, nobody owes you anything. Like, once you understand that, once you truly grasp that it is not anybody's job to take care of you, you understand? Um, that's when you really start to kind of, okay, so if it's not anybody else's job, then whose job is it? And that's when you come to realize that it's yourself. So once you start looking on the inside, hey, what am I good at? What are my talents? What am I skilled at? You stop living on you stop living like kind of the comparative lifestyle. Like, what does this guy have? What does that guy have? What does that guy do better than me? What does he not do better than me? And that's how you really achieve fulfillment, if that makes sense. Like, you don't really achieve it by acquiring things. You acquire yourself, if that makes sense. You understand yourself. So yeah. Hey, Team Sam, how's it going, man? Yeah, I found a way to hook up my camera right to the to the thing. So that's why it worked. But my I don't have a mic though. Um, Many people are just afraid of the truth. Yeah, I mean, many people don't really look at themselves, right? Like, that's why you get all of these. That's why you get all of these, like, that's why socialism always works, right? Like, it's because you get to blame people. You get to say that, um, you get to blame people, like, oh, it's this guy's fault. It's this guy's fault. It's this guy's. No, it's not. It's not, because it's your fault. Like, the reason that you are where you are is where you is because of is because of I mean, sure, you might be dealt bad hands. Like, in my opinion, I was dealt a pretty bad hand, but I was dealt a fair hand. Let's just say that it was not bad, it was not good, but it was okay. But I made something out of it. I definitely overachieved what I was dealt with. Let's just say that. So yeah. My man Omar's on a personal vendetta with the banks. Sounds like you were red pilled early in life. Good for you. Stand up for your own beliefs. Yeah, man. The bank will never get a dollar out of me. Do you know why certain vintage cards have more rough surface than others? Different stocks? I have no idea, man. I really don't know. Sorry. Every time I see your post, I'm amazed how much sealed material you have. How long did it take you to search and buy all that product? It took me. What did it? It took me maybe like 5 years. 5 years. 2016. Like 2016 is when I first started. So I didn't have a single Yu-Gi-Oh product. My binder was like stolen, so I didn't really have anything. So I started exactly at I started exactly at 2016, and this is what I built up over 5 years. Don't just follow the herd, or you'll become a sheep. Think for yourself. Change realization starts within itself. Exactly. Yeah. It's again, like I said, it's everybody looking on the outside, right? Like the sheep term. Like I don't go about calling people sheep, but I know a lot of the my ilk goes about doing that, but I don't really do that. I just you have to understand that um yeah, like literally nobody owes you anything. Once you understand that nobody owes you anything, that's it. Like that's totally it. So that's what my motto is. Don't just follow the yeah. For no mic, damn, the quality is decent. Yeah, Sam, I think through a Wi-Fi feature. No, it's literally USB-C to USB-C, and I think that might be just like A7S3. It might not work for the A7 III. I have no idea. Um, I don't like to hold cash on my bank. I buy things. I like to grow my personal wealth. That's what keeps me happy, at least for some time, till my wife finds out. Hey, Strictly, I'm currently working on starting a YouTube channel. Do you recommend any specific editing program or something to teach me how to edit? All my editing is self-taught. I learned just from YouTube. So what I would recommend is you download Premiere, free trial, and just mess around with it. And it's quite easy to get like what I have. Like mine has like basically no special effects. Like it's all like it's not. There's really not a lot going on. So yeah. I don't like to hold cash in my bank. I already answered that. Do you have any investment in property or plan to? Yeah, the problem is I don't work with a bank, so because this I have to buy my property cash and prices are kind of escaping me. I am going to try to purchase a property in Calgary and from the cash that I saved up and basically like sell a lot of stuff and then take that cash and buy a property with it. In terms of being able to, buy a property and like an investment property, basically like pay 50K loan, get $1 million loan, fucking, and then go and fucking rent that to people. I'm not gonna do that because I will not use the future generation's wealth to make my own. I'm not gonna do that, and it's unfortunately I am very able to do it. Oh. And my mom gets on me about it. Like everybody gets on me about it. The fact that I don't buy investment property and just rent them, but I just I vowed to myself, man, I'm not gonna go back on that. I'm a man of my word, dude. If I there's two things I don't break, my balls and my word. So I don't break them for nobody, as Scarface says. So yeah, uh, that's the main issue with property. I would love to own investment property, but I just can't I just can't afford to because I don't have the money to buy it cash. So Omar prefers the term drinking Kool-Aid. Yeah, that's what I call it. I have people who drink the Kool-Aid. Interest from banks is not good in life. Yeah, I mean, yeah, people trust the banks, so one day people will learn, and that's the thing. I learned the hard way, and I think people will learn as well. Interest from respect. What cards are good to start of a collection? I have no idea, man. Whatever card you like. What do you think of lower graded first ed old school popular cards as an investment collection? It depends. If they're graded 10, then they're great. Yeah, I like graded 10. If you like cards, then I like, if you can't do sealed, because a lot of people can't do sealed because they can't hold anything without opening it, then I would definitely recommend you buy PSA 10 OG cards. Thoughts on Zexal? Out of my time, I have no idea. I don't really have an opinion on that. I really couldn't tell you. How do you build the initial capital to invest? I'll tell you something, okay? Like, this is something that I did, and this is how I've always learned it. I have 3% left, and then my computer is gonna shut down. This is gonna be probably the last thing I say before my computer shuts down, and then, like, yeah, comment right after. If there's a lot of people watching, then I'll go back after my computer charges. But for now, I really have to go. This is literally how I started, okay? I buy, so these books right here, okay? I buy these I bought these books, for example. I bought 3 copies of each. I sold one I was able to source these. I sold one of them for I bought them for $10 a piece, and I sold them for I believe like $20 a piece, okay? I was able to source 4 copies of each book, and I sold 2 of them for $20 a piece. Okay, I got my money back. All right. The rest I sit on and I don't sell. Okay, because when you sell, you spend it on stupid shit. So you sit on them and you let them go. Okay, that's number one. Number one, what you're doing here is you're rewarding the hobby and you're paying it back by not basically dumping everything on the market. Okay, when you reward the market rewards you. Okay, when you help the market helps you. So you take these books and you keep the 2 and you set them back. You take the extra capital, the money that you just got, and you rebuy something else with it. Okay, you try to sell it for a profit and you keep something. Okay, and all of my stuff, like, I promise you, everything I have in my collection was literally purchased in this way. I purchased 10 things, I sell 9 things to make that extra 1 thing free, basically, and I keep that 1 thing and I set it back, and then the market keeps rewarding you because you are also helping the market in that way, because you're not dumping everything back on the market. There's no point to buying 10 items and then just selling 10 items, because all you made here is extra cash, and cash is trash. You understand? So that's my opinion, and my thing is gonna die. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Thank you for listening and, caring about what I have to say, I guess. And if you're interested in anything that we talked about in this, just comment down below, and I'll see you next one.